Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here with you tonight. We got lots and lots to talk about, mostly surrounding the Royal Rumble, fallout from said Royal Rumble. Hulk Hogan continues to be a thing that Tom and I have not really discussed. We're going to go ahead and dive in a little bit on that, I believe, today as well. Hey, man, if you're one of those folks that listens to the show or watches the show and complains that all we do is talk about AEW, you're in luck. Today's going to be mostly strictly WWE. So, yeah, that's good for you guys, right? We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dude?
We acknowledged the tribal chief while we were watching the Rumble I was in Seattle at the Lariat Bar, which is a pro wrestling themed bar in Seattle, and they had a Royal Rumble watch event. The crowd was phenomenal. The viewing was subpar, but it was otherwise a good time. Anyway, everybody did stand up and acknowledge the tribal chief when he entered the Rumble. Not that
interesting the OTC showing up at 16. I kind of liked it. But I'm sure we'll get into that. So yeah, I was wanting to ask you about this Lariat bar, but I mean, it looked like it was pretty cool from the pictures that you sent me.
It was a neat place. They had replica belts up on the walls. They had a lot of pictures and memorabilia everywhere. For a place, though, I do have to hit it with a little bit of criticism for, especially now, to preface this criticism with, being from Pittsburgh, all we do here are sports bars, and we do them all phenomenally. Okay. In a standard Pittsburgh sports bar, you will always have perfect viewing of at least one television, regardless of what seat in that place you are. Am I correct?
Pittsburgh sports bars in like the 95th percentile.
Really? Because well then let's just say that a room that was of the standard size of a regular size like Pittsburgh sports bar, like Archie's or something, like it was about that big. Not the layout was a little different. Like the bar was in the middle.
Well, I mean, Archie's is just wide open spaces.
Yeah.
Look at all this space for activity.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
did we just become best friends? I've got night vision in the garage. Yep.
So with that being said, I feel like you're always in, and especially like just to point, like we have like Tom's Watch Bar, and like we have a lot of places that are just basically wall-to-wall televisions where you can see everything, and that's what I'm used to. Like my Permane brothers, and even my Permane brothers in like Crafton is like they got the quad TV, the quad Samsung.
Yeah, they've had that set. They've had that set up for a fucking long ass time. They're like the first ones I remember doing that shit.
Well, they've got, it's any Permane's really is like basically anywhere you sit, you've got access to at least one, if not like multiple TVs. Well, this place for a relatively large spot only had 5 TVs, and like there were too many people in this bar for there only to be 5 TVs. I'm just saying. So the viewing was subpar.
Well, I mean, maybe maybe they get charged on a per TV like bill. You don't know what their circumstance is, bro. How?
I'm just saying that it could have been better. I'm saying from what's the matter with me. I'm saying from paying patrons perspective. How you like that? Paying patrons perspective. I won't be able to say that in a little while. It was not what I wanted to see as far as viewing was concerned. Now the crowd itself was phenomenal. Shout out to the Seattle fan base, Rat City. It was the Rat City fan base, which is a borough, I guess, or whatever of Seattle. Killer, great crowd. Loved the crowd. Had a great time. Next year, though, I think we just have a party here because I have more than 5 TVs that we can all do. I can put the Rumble on every single fucking one of them.
I don't know. Maybe next year we can maybe fucking go. How about that? Like
Next year, it's gonna be in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We ain't going to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so are we gonna have to watch that? Are we gonna have to watch it on Monday afternoon if you have?
We might have to. We might have to watch it on Monday afternoon. Yeah, Ashley said she can't go to Saudi Arabia. Her rights,
Oh.
She doesn't have the right to go.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah. Not to spoil your intro to the show about us not talking about AEW. I did watch Dynamite before going to Seattle, and man, they were on a roll. They're not on a roll no more. It's
it's really strange to me that all of a sudden Cope's back, and the product sucks.
It took a nosedive.
He's just nosing around the fucking the championship. I guess blowing your fucking blowing your asshole out your ankles. Is all that you need to do around AEW to get a fucking title shot.
Yeah. So. It was a bad show.
Yo, what was that like backstage like face only promo that Adam cut?
Honestly, I got up in the middle of it, so I don't know, but it wasn't any good. I don't know.
You locked the belt in briefcase, man. We're on a new network now, bro. What the fuck's the matter with you, dummy?
I mean, I was kind of shut out by. Also, I want to point out that Mariah May was there to talk about Tony Storm, but we did not have Tony Storm on the show, which was
not timeless.
No, it was not timeless. It was
untimely, perhaps.
It was untimely. Also, Mariah May. Or Mercedes Moné. I'm sorry. Mercedes Moné and Yuka Sakazaki.
CEO.
So they had a match that was predictable, but also bad. I don't know what we ever saw in Sasha Banks, but whatever it was, it ain't here. And Will Ospreay is now friends with Kenny Omega or something.
Bruv. Yeah, Bruv. Like I mean, the enemy. The enemy of my enemy isn't, that whole fucking.
They showed the replay of them climbing the thing.
Yeah.
To do not hug. I don't know what they were doing up there. I don't know why they were up there. It didn't really make sense.
So that Kenny Omega could cut a promo and say, "I'm afraid of heights, bruv."
Yeah, it wasn't any good. So, AEW back to, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Hopefully it was
stanking ass booty little boys.
Stinking up the joint is all they did. It was they had an opportunity to kind of put out a banger right before rolling into Saturday's Royal Rumble and maybe just giving us a good week of wrestling, get everybody pumped up about just wrestling as a whole before the Rumble, which is quite frankly I would say almost as popular, if not more popular in certain circles than what WrestleMania is. Depending on how you look at it, just the match itself anyway.
Rumble.
So they really had it while the rest of the world had their eyes on pro wrestling. They could have gone ahead and put on a great show, and they went ahead and phoned in a stinker. Kudos, Tony. I guess the old wheels weren't turning as strong this week as they have been.
Man, keep on burning.
So it was
rolling.
We'll see. Hopefully next week is worth watching. I'll watch it next week and report back. But this week was a monstrous disappointment. I will say I was looking forward to watching some wrestling. I was pretty high on Raw. Really liked SmackDown. Really liked was ready to come in. Or not SmackDown. Really liked Raw. Really liked NXT. So I was like ready. I was a freight train. Like, let's go. We're gonna watch every day and then Thursday I was traveling, so I didn't watch TNA. But I generally don't anyway. But I was like, all right, it'll be great. I'll watch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday I'll be traveling the whole time, and then I'll get into Seattle. It'll be good. Did not get a chance to watch SmackDown live on Friday, but I watched all the clips prior to during the day on Saturday prior to watching the Rumble, and enjoyed that very, very much. I thought a lot of good stuff was built for Friday that did pay off on Saturday, which I know we'll get into. And then, watched Saturday and loved it. But AEW was really the sore thumb, so to speak, the stinky butthole of the of the shows this week.
Well, this escalated quickly.
Yeah, it was it was the unwiped ass this week of the.
Hey, listen, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, whatever you do over there, all right, that's up to you. That stays in the privacy of your own home, sir. Okay, stinky buttholes and wiped taints and whatever it is you just said. You sexual deviant, you.
Very devious over here.
Hey, man. So, real quick, I want to touch on this Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah.
So Hogan was on Pat McAfee today. I wish I would have known. I'm super, super unprepared to really have this conversation, knowing that he was on McAfee today. But he mentioned something in particular about Bret Hart and their relationship, and pointed a lot of fingers and took no responsibility for anything that he may or may not have done to Bret Hart over the course of the last 10 years of Bret's career.
Probably told a few mistruths along the way, as he is wont to do. I'm sure Bret's going to have some sort of a some sort of retort to that, because as Bret always has something to say.
I really, for a long time, and like, I think you'll agree with me on this. I think for a long time, a lot of us have thought that Bret Hart was very bitter, right?
I think that's true. Yes.
While that is true, we've oftentimes asked, in jest, I've definitely asked, hey, like, do you think, like, after he had his stroke that, like, he just kind of lost the fuck you filter, in his brain, and everything's just kind of coming out about how he really feels. But for Hogan to sit there and not take responsibility for some of the things that happened between him and Bret Hart is just blasphemous.
Yeah. That's
WrestleMania 9 in particular.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, that's ridiculous.
The funny, that's WrestleMania 9 is what popped into my head, and that's when I sent you the clip, especially, and I knew you would think that too. It was like, we were children at the time, so like it didn't make sense to us, but at the same time, it was like, oh man,
go get him, Hulkster! Yeah. Bret didn't do it. You go get him, Hulkster.
Go get him, Hulkster. Exactly, and that's it was real to us, man. At that point in time, right? It was definitely real to us. Now, that being said, being adults and having watched it back and knowing what we know now, it's like, oh, man, Hulk Hogan was a fucking prick.
Dirtbag.
Fucking dirtbag. And he was gone, what, a year, 2 years later? He was already.
Yeah, I mean, he had just really, like, kind of came back from filming a movie. If I remember correctly, it was like Suburban Commando or some shit that he had just.
Was it the one where he made that guy shit himself?
Yeah, where he was like turned into the big like dragon monster at the end.
What's that smell? That one?
Yeah, it was real not good, right?
Real
But
bad. Yeah. Dookie.
Seriously, has Hulk Hogan ever been in a good movie? Like,
No.
I,
Three Ninjas Kickback, the worst Three Ninjas, which is saying something.
hey man, don't you dare disrespect the goddamn good name
Or
of
no,
Three
not
Ninjas.
Kickback. Three Ninjas
Okay,
High Noon. High
okay,
Noon.
okay. We are not okay. There's levels to the pop culture nostalgia that we are currently walking down right now. All right, I'm not gonna just sit by and idly sit by and just let you disrespect the goddamn good name of the Three Ninjas franchise.
Buddy,
Okay,
I love the Three Ninjas franchise.
okay. Well, I mean, you're talking all wrong over there
Talking
about
about
Three
guy all
Ninjas.
wrong.
Okay, let's just calm down. All right.
Talking to my guy all wrong.
So,
Stop
anyways, so
hit you in the face with a saw.
he comes back, WrestleMania 9. Obviously, Yoko's the champ. I just got a text. I must be getting a little carried away. A little early in the show to be getting a text.
It's because I was bad mouthing the good name of the goddamn good name of the Three Ninjas. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I take full responsibility.
So, and then like you said, it's like go get him, Hulk. Oh yeah, but like watching it now, it's like, hey man, you politics your way into this bullshit.
Yeah, this made no sense.
It don't work for me, brother.
This made no sense. Nobody understood why this happened. Everybody, I'm sure people were excited to see the guy because like he was still a big name at the time.
And then that's where he had like the fractured face too from Macho Man beating him up.
Yeah.
That nobody wants to talk about.
Well, it's because we're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know that. That was case.
So, and then all of a sudden he's the world champion, and it's just like, oh, that's really cool. But now it's just like, what a fucking turd. Especially knowing what we know, going into WCW and the way that things worked out there, and then Brett following slightly after that, and the way things worked out there. Brett very much has said, since Goldberg kicked his fucking head in, that Hulk Hogan's the reason why everything was so fucked up everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean he's not the only one to have said that either, right? Like Bret Hart is like. Hulk Hogan is probably on the lowest tier of list of people Bret Hart hates. Like the first 5 of them are Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of other people ahead of him. But Hulk Hogan was not on the highest tier of list. But for him to sort of bring up Bret and to then be like, oh, Bret was Bret. The last time I saw him, I shook his hand. I love Bret to death, brother. I don't think that's the case either. I was thinking about something today because I was thinking about it. Like, as kids growing up, I mean, obviously, Hulkamania ran wild on everybody. But I think if you were like a Hulk Hogan fan as a kid and you really believed in that like real American, like, say your prayers, eat your Wheaties thing, and the whole, fight for the rights of every man, all that stuff. Knowing what you know now about the man, about Terry Bollea, you must hate him as a person. Like if you took all that like real American shit to heart, like you hate him as a person because he was the antithesis and continues to be the antithesis of all of that. He fights for the rights of no man but himself, or whatever other racist idiots that is in his merry band of fuckheads. And like you would like I said, the man versus the character. If you were a fan of what the character stood for, you hate who the man is because the man is not anything of what the character stood for. Garbage human. I believe another Hall of Famer had some thoughts about said garbage human.
Yeah, but I don't know that I can just like allow you to bring him into the mix, especially considering the way that you feel about him these days.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's true as well. I mean, I'm not I'm not sitting here the happiest of campers as far as Mr. Taker's politics are either. But at least he wasn't there ripping his shirt off, telling me that Trumpomania was going to run wild on me. They mostly stuck to Trump's Wrestlemania or Trump's what?
That sounded dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty man.
Anyway, they mostly stuck to Trump's WWF run, but you know, I can't say that I hold the Undertaker in the highest of regards either. But he was not there to let Hulk Hogan. They asked the Undertaker as well what he thought about, you know, Hulk getting booed, and he was like, yeah, sometimes stuff sticks with you, or sometimes you reap what you sow. I can't remember what he said, but it was like it came off to me as both he wasn't surprised and like he didn't give a shit. Like,
well, I mean, he doesn't really have the greatest relationship with with Hogan either.
I mean, who does really? Is there somebody?
Because I mean, Hogan for all these years has accused the Undertaker of dropping him on his head this Tuesday in Texas back in '91, and like I've watched that match no less than 70 times, and
there's this much clearance at least. Yeah, it's not close.
Flair could have slid 2 chairs under Hogan's head, and he still wouldn't have touched the second chair.
Yeah, it was that like there was at least this much space between his head and that chair, and like you're right, there could have been a whole nother chair there. It would have been closer, but it would have been nothing. Like, and also, what a complainer. Let's just be honest. Think about guys at the time taking headshots like with chairs and getting dropped at like we're talking guys like just a couple years later. No, that would have been 91, but still, like, just think about how many chair shots Mankind took just straight to the face. How many like
32 of them bitches unanswered with no hands because his hands were handcuffed behind his back.
Yeah.
I mean, The Rock beat fucking Mankind Mick Foley within an inch of his fucking life in that match.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah. I also go back to Ken Shamrock's chair shot that he took from The Rock. When Ken has gone back and said, no, I told him you lay this shit in so it looks great. And The Rock about knocked Ken's head into the 4th row. So for Hulk Hogan to be a monster complainer about, you know, his skullet having a dusting on the, you know, he maybe felt a little on his skullet. He touched that chair. Yeah, I don't know, brother. Sure seemed like he was trying to bury the new big man and keep him from getting over more than anything else. Thankfully, that never happened. But I don't know, brother. It ain't working for me.
A lot of things don't seem to be working for you, brother. I don't know, man. You know, I think the biggest thing is you look at Terry Bollea, the man, versus Hulk Hogan, the character, and it's like, man, I was a little Hulkamaniac, you know, and I don't know. I just hope Terry figures it out because it's still not too late.
Unfortunately, I think that he's gonna try to take it to the grave. He's gonna try to paint his own picture on his way, you know, out. He's gonna try. Well, you know, I love this and that and blah blah blah. And you know, Ric Flair will probably vouch for him because Rick was drunk the whole time. Rick don't know what happened.
He still is.
He still is. Rick didn't know what was going on. And Sir Rick will vouch for
Man,
him.
I'll tell you what, the apple didn't fall far from the tree on that one, huh?
Sure didn't. Was that her third or fourth divorce? And
I thought it was her second.
It's at least her third.
Then we'll just, for the sake of argument, we'll go right down the middle, and we'll call it 2.
Yeah, she's only 38. Hold on. Wait, Google knows the answer to this.
Yeah, Google does know the answer. Ashley Fleer.
Yeah, this is the third. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Ricky Johnson from 2010 to 2013. Tom Latimer, 2013 to 2015, and then Andrade is number 3. So 3. So 3 at 38. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's
racking them up.
You know what? Maybe she's gonna try to beat both of Dad's records. You know.
There you go. Get them both. How many times? Rick's only been married
6.
6 times. Yeah.
I mean, he's been married twice to Wendy, so there's that. Married twice and divorced twice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're right. It's only been 5. It's 5 separate, but it's Wendy. Wendy was married and divorced twice. They're married again, are they not?
Well, if they are, they're separated again.
Oh shit.
Rick's a sad follow on Instagram, bro.
Yeah, I think I have him hidden because it is sad. I think I have him hidden because
he's a sad follow on Instagram.
I think I was scrolling one night like before bed, and I was like, I do not need this negativity in my feed.
God bless.
This is not okay. As a man who I loved and respected as a professional wrestler, loved Ric Flair's career. Every time he was on TV, man, his life was a mess. Anywhere that was not television, his life was and is a mess. Which makes sense. Which makes sense as to why he wants to be
forever together.
Which makes sense as to why he wants to die in the ring. Because
come on, bro, that was funny.
It was funny. Woo!
Yeah, but I did the tagline, WWE tagline, because it talked about Rick's nightmare relationships behind the scenes. That was funny.
You're right. It was funny.
But you just talked over me, and you didn't feel like it was funny in the moment. Now my feelings are hurt. I don't know that I can continue on with this show. I think I need to take a mental health day.
Mental health day. Where are we going with this? Where's that going?
I don't know where.
Thought you had a punch that with that.
Probably to the exit screen because you hurt my feeling.
Just gonna go to the exit screen. Just we're offline. We haven't even talked about the Rumble yet.
I know. We're not actually doing pretty good here. Yeah. I don't know.
Right. Because I think you said it, 6 months ago?
Yeah, I did. And then I was like, well, I don't know.
I mean, it's fair.
Nobody said anything.
Didn't come out, so it wasn't like, well, it's hard to make a bold assumption like that, and then
maybe they had to keep it secret because of work visa stuff, probably. Going from AEW to back to WWE and going through the contracts and making sure that all the paperwork was in order.
Probably it wasn't finalized until October, so it wasn't real until it was. And it became real 2 months ago. But he was already signed and feuding with Carmelo, so it was okay.
Yeah, a great series of 7 matches. Well, have they had 8 yet? No, they haven't had their 8th one yet.
No, not yet. They still fuck with each other though.
Well, they've got the double disqualification in match 7.
They got it.
They have to, right? That's going to end up being a U.S. title decider here pretty soon.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what ends up being the U.S. title match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I
don't know how they get there, but
Carmelo beats Shinsuke.
Yeah, I don't know how they get there, but but I could see that happening. Somebody has to drop a title between now and WrestleMania, right? Like we can't just be on hold now indefinitely, right? Like somebody's got to drop a title.
Yeah, it'll have to be the U.S. because I mean Shinsuke is just fucking static.
Yeah,
he's back to not being there, being on TV every week. Like
he was a non-threat in the Rumble, which is weird because he won a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean he was in there 3 minutes,
If
4
that.
minutes.
I mean, I remember him coming in. I don't even remember him being eliminated.
So all right,
The only elimination that was sadder was Ludwig Kaiser's.
Yeah, dude, but I did kind of like it. So let's just go ahead. Let's jump into the Royal Rumble premium live event. Since we're starting to get into it, I really like to kick off by talking about the 2 out of 3 falls match. DIY Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
Johnny Gargano versus Motor City Machine Guns. Bang Bang Gang.
The Detroit Bang Bang Gang, as Ashley would, as my lovely girlfriend would like to refer to them as.
I really enjoyed the 2 out of 3 falls. I think that the right team won here, though.
I also loved how it ended with the Street Profits showing up and them. Oh my God, they laid those shots in with the crutch. I loved all of that. I loved all of it. I was like, I was like, oh man, they're gonna let the Motor City Machine Guns take those titles off DIY here, and yada yada yada. And then out of fucking nowhere comes Montez
Well, Montez did come out first. He was hanging on the ropes over there, and then Dawkins come out of nowhere with the crutch and just fucking laid waste to fucking Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, and then he laid waste to DIY too.
Yes,
they fucking killed everybody, which I thought was awesome. I was like, because honestly, I've been feeling kind of bad for the Profits lately. I'm like, man, they've been stop-started so many times at this point. Like these guys are fucking stars, and they just keep getting the short end of the stick, and it pisses me off because like these guys are fucking great, right? Montez Ford, we discussed before, is clearly a much bigger star than he's ever been given credit for. Like the dude should have been a world champion at least once at this point. And I'm like, and he's still fucking around, not on television every week. And Dawkins is no slouch either. And the two of them as a tandem is, I mean, it's enthralling television. They're fantastic. So to see them pop up at the Rumble and just fuck everybody up,
they've really come into their own since like the start of the faction with Bobby Lashley, right? Where they've dialed back the comedic stuff a little bit. They're far more intense. They're far more focused. They're far more, aggressive. But you can tell that they still like having their fun, but they've, like I said, they've really come into their own since that whole start of that faction with Bobby Lashley.
Which was a big stop-start bunch of turds, really.
Yes.
And I'm not sure whose fault that was, whether it was a Vince problem, whether it was the fact that Bobby and
no, that would have been strictly under Triple H's regime.
Right, but who was the catalyst of that being, because Bobby came out and had said this past week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago at this point, but he had said that, during the pandemic era, the lockdown era, there were a bunch of people who just weren't coming to work. So that's why they gave the reins to guys like Bobby and Drew and kind of let them, take over and, have, at the time, what were pretty decent title runs, despite everything else going on in that sort of closed arena, era.
The
Thunderdome era. They had pretty decent runs. I thought Bobby Lashley was a pretty good champion, and he and MVP came out and did some good stuff. The Hurt Business was great. And then Triple H kind of came in, took over shortly after that, and they teased some Hurt Business reunions, and they teased oh well, this is the new Hurt Business with Bobby Lashley and the Profits, and none of that went anywhere. And yeah, so to see it end this way, I'm hoping is, the start of sort of something that gets the Profits involved in what's already been sort of a hot feud between Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. But I think inserting the Profits now is a good call because, like, if it just went with Motor City Machine Guns and DIY between now and WrestleMania, I think that would get stale. But now that the Profits are in there and being aggressive and killing everybody, like, I'm right back in, right?
I mean, too, and the tag team division as a whole on SmackDown's kind of in a really good place right now. Like even though Pretty Deadly still just can, just getting jobbed out week after week after week. Like you look at them and it's like, oh, they're just right there. They're just on the outside looking in. And then you've got Legato is,
Yeah.
you got Los Garza. They're
Los
right
Garza.
there on the outside looking into it.
Can I just point out that it's really weird that they're Legado del Fantasma, but the tag team itself is Los Garza, and the fact that there's only 3 of them in this faction anyway is sort of why are they not just doing a Freebirds thing? Because they're not doing shit with Santos Escobar.
He was in the Rumble.
Yeah, for what, 3-4 minutes?
I don't know. He was in the Rumble.
He was absolutely in the Rumble. No arguments there. He was there.
Penta beat up on him a little bit.
Penta did. Wait till we get to that, though. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, overall, I thought the tag team title match was awesome. It looks like we've got a lot of fun possibilities for some angles and some things coming out of the Royal Rumble in the SmackDown tag team division, which should carry us into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I love when tag team wrestling is relevant. It really, really makes me happy. As somebody that grew up as a tag team specialist, I enjoy when tag team wrestling means something. And hopefully we get this right going into WrestleMania.
That would be amazing.
Moving on, we've got the ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship, the Universal Undisputed Winged Eagle belt thing. Hanging high.
Was this a Cody Rhodes heel turn? Is Cody Rhodes now Homelander?
I mean, I've been talking about a Cody Rhodes heel turn for how long?
Is Cody Rhodes Homelander now? They
They
cheered him. He fucking killed Kevin Owens, and they cheered him. Gave him the Alabama slam onto a ladder that looked like it broke him in half.
The bump didn't look great, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Kevin looked like he got hurt.
It did. That's what I mean. It looked like it killed Kevin. I'm curious to find out if it actually did or if Kevin took that bump if Kevin's just going to show up and cut a promo like, you know what, Cody?
It's a possibility. Actually, he's probably going to go after Sami Zayn tonight.
Maybe. I'll watch it after this.
Yeah, I will too.
I'm still kind of on West Coast time.
Oh, that's the worst.
It fucking sucks.
Oh, that's the worst.
It sucked all morning because I'm trying to work this morning, but I'm kind of tired, but I did go to bed on time, so I'm not that tired. It was fucking weird. I'm drinking coffee, kind of want to go back to bed, but at the same time, I'm supposed to be at work, and it's awful, just awful. So, and now I feel wide awake. I feel great. Go all night. Probably watch Raw when we're done.
Tomorrow's gonna be rough for you, bud.
It's gonna be rough all week, but all right. I'm committed. I'm committed to the difficulty.
Oh shit! So I really thought Kevin Owens should have won this match.
I agree, and I think that it would have been one of those things where it's they probably would have hot potatoed the title between now and then. But honestly, we've not really seen that, so I don't think it would have been as egregious as it. It's probably taboo backstage to say or contemplate anything like that, but I don't think it's as egregious as the culture of how titles change hands would have you believe.
Yes. Yeah, man. I'm not. I'm not into this at all. Like, I think that Kevin Owens definitely should have won, given us some fresh perspective going into WrestleMania. I don't know, man. The fact that Cody's going to be the champion at WrestleMania, it feels dirty.
Well, and now it's almost too like titles can only change hands, like major titles can only change hands at WrestleMania now, it seems. And like if that's the case, then what the fuck we doing? Like why would I pay attention to any season that's not, WrestleMania season? And that's really where you can lose the casual fan. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
if it's not dangerous week to week, if there is no danger of Cody Rhodes losing a title or anybody losing a title when it's not, April, you risk losing the casual fan, and you can't lose a casual fan, for 12 months, for 11 months out of the year. That's not.
Sure, you can ask AEW.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens. And because they've done the same thing, and they've done it to themselves. And that, like, so Moxley is the champion. We are not going to see Moxley lose this title unless I pay $50 at one of their largest pay-per-views, probably Double or Nothing. So Mox is going to hold that title for at least 12 months, if not longer. And I feel like once the title reign encompasses an entire year, then it can happen at like a 4-pillar pay-per-view. But at the same time, it's like, so you're telling me we got to stagnate for a year at least before anything gets dangerous, right? And I think that's really dangerous. That's really, I don't want to overuse the word dangerous. That's really like disheartening to the casual fan, because they will not tune in week to week or even like a couple times a month, because it'll be like, oh, who's still the champ? Because you can watch this shit on, like, you can watch a Cody Rhodes promo on YouTube for 3 minutes.
You can watch it on TikTok.
Or TikTok, right? And go, oh, okay, I got to watch this month. And you don't have to. And you're
right.
Caught up. Like, yeah, sure, you're not ingrained in the nitty-gritty details of the story, but who fucking cares? Because none of that matters, because Cody's going to win anyway. And that's problematic, because we just did that with Roman Reigns for 3 years.
Right. And I mean, but the thing is, though, the 3 years with Roman had never really felt stagnant the way that we're 10 months into Cody Rhodes, and it has felt stagnant for a couple of months now. It's like they got him there and they didn't know what to do with him afterwards, which happens a lot whenever you have an epic chase.
Yeah,
right?
And a white meat baby face too. That's the hard part, is that, like, he's not doing horrible dastardly shit to maintain the title. He's just winning cleanly every month against everybody. And it's like, well, this is fucking boring. Like, we just watched Roman beat all these guys twice for 3 years. Why do I give a shit to watch Cody do this in a sort of less interesting, more Hulk Hogan-esque manner? Right? Like, he gets fired up.
Down and it hurts inside.
Like, Roman legitimately lost a few matches, but, like, was saved by dastardly means. Cody has not legitimately lost or come close to losing.
Kevin Owens, Saturday night's main event.
Right.
But I mean, he was down for a 15 count.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Kevin Owens was right. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's what I keep coming back to, is Kevin Owens was right. Like, he's mad at Cody. He fucking spiked Randy for not sticking up for him. And Kevin was right. Kevin is the babyface in this. And everybody is like, and Kevin thinks, like, Kevin is acting like everybody is fucking crazy for not seeing it his way. And Kevin is right. And I like all of that, which is why Kevin should have won. Right? But now they're going to put him on the shelf or something because Cody murdered the guy or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Maybe it'll pay off. Hopefully I'll eat my words. But maybe it's entirely possible that I'll be like, fucking Kevin Owens lost for this. Like, exactly like, when Swerve lost to Brian Danielson. My bad. like, oh, we beat Swerve for this fucking bullshit. So that's where my mind is. And good match, bad outcome. Don't like it.
Nah, I don't like it either. Not at all. Not at all. Moving on, we've got the women's Royal Rumble match. Now, what I'd like to do here is we'll just, we'll go through, we'll break it down into fives.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay. Starting out, we got Io Sky and Liv Morgan at 1 and 2. I thought it was a fun little way to start.
Loved it.
I mean, you got your two workhorses for sure,
but it felt fresh, right? Because they don't see each other much, so fresh.
And
good.
Then you bring Roxanne Perez in, who
also fresh, good.
I've been uber impressed with over on NXT on Tuesday nights recently.
Love Roxy.
I imagine that she is main roster to stay.
Yeah,
being eliminated last.
Yeah, I can't imagine her going back to NXT. She's a bigger star than almost everybody almost everybody else in that Rumble.
Well,
okay, you're right, but she's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, but can she be a big deal on the main roster? Is the
We'll see. She's got a couple months to prove herself before WrestleMania just to see what happens. So
she got pretty good pop.
Yeah, actually, absolutely.
It was pretty decent pop. She got a couple big NXT chants.
She did.
So
she got a couple big. She got some good moves in. She got some solid spotlights through the whole match.
Number 4, you got Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion, coming in at 4, and then at number 5, you've got the United States Champion, Chelsea Green, coming in. Okay, I get all that.
Loved how long Chelsea lasted.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like a 30-second thing.
26:52.
Yeah, love that she got some time. But yeah, solid start. Was happy with it.
And then we go on 6 through 10. We have B-Fab, Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Lash Legend, and Bianca Belair. I think when B-Fab came out, like, it was just like, ugh. Right? But she looked pretty good. She did.
For the
7.5 minutes she was in there.
So the bar we were in did like a roulette thing where you got to pick a number for each Rumble, and whatever number you picked, that was, if you won, it was like $10 per whatever. You won, you won. If your person won that Rumble, you got half of whatever the buy-in was. So let's say they bought you. Let's say it was 30 people, so it was $10, so it was $300. And so if you won, you got $150. So that was immediately when B-Fab came out, the guy who's like announcing it goes, and B-Fab, sorry if you're number 6. It was and that was sort of how the commentary went through the night. Yeah, so she made it 6 minutes, or I think she was the first one eliminated. Am I?
She wrong? She was the first one eliminated, and she was eliminated by Chelsea Green, which is just going to continue to build the United States Championship title picture on SmackDown, because B-Fab is in that little collective with Michin right now, who is currently feuding with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. So a little bit of storytelling there. Not too shabby.
I don't like Chelsea's competitors, her challengers right now. I think that everything Michin is pretty cringy, and I don't think B-Fab is anything more than a jobber, really. So I'm sort of disenfranchised with those two anyway, but that's just my opinion.
Moving on, we've got Ivy Nile, Zoe Stark, Lash Legend, Bianca Belair. I think once we get to Bianca, you can feel that we're starting to ramp up a little bit, right?
Right. And you knew that, like, Bianca stayed pretty late. I don't know that she was Final Four, but she was at least top 6.
She was in there for 49 minutes, and she was eliminated 23rd.
Okay. So, yeah, she was around for a little while.
pretty good showing from her. And then we've
Mhm.
got 11 through 15, Shayna Baszler, Bailey, Sonya Deville, Maxine Dupree, and Naomi. It was kind of like well, we got to get our shit in. We got to get these guys out here.
Maxine Dupree got to like do a bad worm, and she got chucked shortly after. I don't
She was
know.
on the end there a minute and 20.
Yeah, it was a little. It was a little. She got a big pop. Like the crowd seems to really like her, but like I can't understand. Like she's such a like.
It's just that underdog shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean
and she's cute.
She's an underdog, but she's not like there's nothing. Like she's not going anywhere. I hope to eat my words, but probably not.
No, probably not. 16 through 20, we have Jada Parker, Piper Niven, Natalia, Jordan Grace, and then your buddy Mishin.
So Jada Parker was kind of like a flop, I think. Am I wrong in that? It seemed like a flop, at least from my perspective, where we were. Jordan Grace, I thought was a huge pop. I love Jordan Grace. And she got a huge pop when she came out.
She did get a huge pop. I
she
popped
was
whenever I heard the siren.
She was the worst kept secret of this Rumble.
Yeah, and she tried real hard on Twix too, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I'm going to hang out with my mom."
Everybody knew. We all knew, Jordan. We knew. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, they tried to make Michin be a big deal. They keep saying her fucking finisher. Like, I eat the feet. Like, fucking stop. Stop. Bad. Anyway, move on.
Hold on, I'm answering a text message.
Okay. Well, I can keep talking about how shit that was. So
no, we're good. Moving on, 21 through 25. Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae, Stephanie Vaquer, and Trish Stratus. Thank you, Trish.
Thank you, Trish. Let's
talk about
Trish was there.
Let's talk about the two biggest pops of the night. Alexa Bliss at number 21 and Trish Stratus at number 25.
Loved that Alexa was back. I popped. I jumped up. I think I might have been the only one in the bar. As soon as I saw her, I jumped out of my chair. I was like, oh my God. I loved also that Michael Cole was like, but the internet told me she wasn't here.
Yes.
Loved it. Way to troll the dirt sheets, everybody. Loved it. That being said, she did come out as the not the Twisted Bliss. Like what was that even? That character even?
It was like the little Sister Abigail.
Yeah, it was that friends. The friends forever. That's what the back of her thing said. Friends forever.
Yeah, but it also says fiend forever.
Yeah, it does. So was it just a Bray tribute?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's the case too. And I love that.
Because she was literally wearing the same ring gear that she had on at the Royal Rumble, which was the last time she was seen. She was in that same exact ring gear.
Love that she's back.
Yes.
Love that she was there.
Yes.
Honestly, that made my night.
I hope that the pop that she got made her fucking night.
Me too. I hope that after everything she's been through over the last 2 whatever years, what with Bray passing away, the cancer scare, but also the good things, like she got married, they had a kid, like all the there's good and bad. But I hope that all of that, I hope the pop she got it felt like, oh shit, I'm home, I'm back.
She got 11 minutes. She was eliminated 12th by Liv Morgan. I mean, I hope she's back.
Me too. And honestly, I wouldn't hate to see her in a feud with Liv, anybody really.
Yeah, I think her and Liv would be a lot of fun.
She's a wild card of you can put her in a top feud with anybody. Like she's a top 5. You could put her in anywhere around somebody who is or was a world champion recently, and it makes sense and it would be fantastic. And I'm here for it.
Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae, Stephanie Vaquer. She looked really good too.
Stephanie Vaquer was great. So Stephanie
She got a
Vaquer
big pop too.
So we had Stephanie Vaquer as our she was our like roulette choice for this women's rumble. And I was like, okay, we actually got a pretty decent, like I didn't expect her to win, but like she was a pretty decent, like it wasn't off the books, right? It wasn't a like, oh fuck, it's me Chin. Like it was like it was a decent we had a snowball's chance in hell.
So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. Like I felt like, on the right day, the right time, she could have snuck one for sure if they wanted to pull like a major fucking swerve. They felt super strong about her. I mean, she's got a great presentation. I think she's got a good in-ring. She's got good in-ring ability. She's been fun to watch on NXT.
Oh yeah. But I think she's really driving ratings, especially on NXT right now. I think she's like a big fucking deal because with NXT particularly, I don't think it's necessarily all about the eyeballs that are on the screen, on the CW every Tuesday. I think a lot of it too is driven by the clips that happen on YouTube after the fact. And she, when she does that thing where she grabs them with her knee, grabs her head with her knees and her thighs and just smashes it into the ground. Boom, boom. Like that's impressive to watch. And whenever that happens, they clip that part, like whatever move led into that. And they clip that move, and then that gets 2 million views on YouTube every week. And it's one of the most, viewed segments of NXT that week on YouTube. So I think that right now she's pulling eyes to that product, whether it's, with, the oh baby or with the kind of like, just the prowess of how clean it is and how good she is in the ring. So it's sort of a like double-edged sort of like, well, we're kind of milking this for what it's worth right now, and it's still worth a lot over here. So maybe next year.
Yeah. Always next year. Always next year. Fuck. Hold on. Moving into the last 5, we have number 26, Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, Julia, Nia Jax, and my favorite, butthurt Nikki Bella.
Yeah. So it was kind of shocking to see Nikki Bella. I don't think she got the pop she thought she was going to get. It seemed a little flat.
I mean, I let out an audible groan on Sunday morning when when her music hit at number 30. So much so that my kid was like, huh?
Yeah. You all right, Dad? What happened? I'm like, nothing. It's yeah, I've done that too. I've been watching wrestling going, oh my God.
And like, I understand that I've been super critical of Nikki Bella in the last 6 months to a year. Okay. Since like all the shit happened where she didn't feel like she got treated like she should have been or whatever it was. It's just, this is a bad look. You trash this place fucking publicly, and then you just want to come
years, right?
It's been a couple years for sure,
but like hard enough that she was Nikki Garcia for a while.
Yeah,
and then when that fell apart because it made her no money, all of a sudden she's Nikki Bella again.
And then she's coming out number 30 at the Royal Rumble.
Right. Exactly. It's a little too much cry wolf, and then, oh hey.
Listen, I don't have a problem calling a spade a spade. Like this is some level A fucking grade A bullshit. And like, I don't know. There's some fun matchups out there with her. Like I think her and Jordan Grace could have a good feud as long as Nikki's willing to fucking do business and put Jordan Grace over. I think that Nikki Bella could have some great matches with Trish, right? Couple Hall of Famers going at it.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Hogan versus Rock kind of the women's division. Icon versus icon. No title involved. Doesn't need to be a title.
Right.
But I think that there's a lot of fun there. Chelsea Green, and Nikki Bella has a little bit of appeal to it.
Mhm.
She absolutely adds some intrigue to the women's division.
If she's willing to do business, like she'd have
Yes.
to be willing to lay down for Chelsea Green after
Well,
the fact. Like she can get some licks in. Let's not be, like she can
you
certainly
almost
like
got me. You almost got me. I
she can get
almost
some
said
licks in,
you almost got me.
but it has to be at the end of the day, Chelsea's the future. Nikki's just making her look better on her way out.
Yeah, and I think that if there's a bunch of that, I'm here for that. But I need not see her have any shine. The only shining
No.
she needs to be doing is fucking shining up the new folks
Yes,
and helping to get these women over, because that's her job at this point in time in her
absolutely.
career, whether she wants to hear that or not.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially considering how much fucking shit she talked. I thought Nia Jax looked fucking great in this Rumble.
I
I
did too.
appreciate that she continues to get better week after week.
I thought she should have won, if I'm being honest. I thought there was a hard moment in time. Not a hard moment. There was a moment in time that up until she went over the rope that I was like, oh, Nia's gonna win. Like this is now her run. She's gonna win and go on and beat, fucking Tiffy. She's gonna meet Tiffy at WrestleMania after winning the Rumble, and that's gonna be a weird. That not weird. That's going to be a good story, right? That's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good build, and it's going to be fun. I was certain that was what was coming. It was in my head. It's like this makes perfect sense. It's going to come down to Nia and Charlotte's going to go for the boot, and Nia's going to move and then huck Charlotte, and it's going to be like, Tiffy, I'm coming for you, and I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, you are, and I'm going to be excited about it, but that's not what happened. And there were other points in time where I'm like, oh man, I was certain going into this too, is particularly that like I'm like Jordan Grace is gonna win, especially.
I'm not gonna miss having to do this.
I'm not gonna miss you having to do that either. It's just gonna take me an extra 45 minutes to come eat dinner with you. That's all. That's okay.
It's just I might actually get to put this thing down from time to time.
It might be good.
Yeah.
Might be real good.
Maybe I'm looking at this all wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have a nice couple of months in a sense of like you might find some new appreciations.
Huh.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
oh, Mother America here, it's just sorry, I digress. And thank you for going, and I'm sure you made a great point, but I was off in fucking.
I thought Nia was gonna win. That was my
point. Oh shit. Yeah,
and then she didn't.
No. I mean, and I appreciate that she was the, top four. Nikki Bella, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and Roxanne Perez, who we have already put over at the beginning of this. Made it to the final two, got eliminated by the eventual winner, who we all know at this point is Charlotte Flair. And Tom and I are going to break that down here in a second. But if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. Maybe even consider subscribing. But there's just I don't understand, Tom.
There were too many easy, like you could have teased Charlotte as the winner and had literally any of the final four beat her, and it would have been great. Like I think that's the thing. I think you tease whomever, like you tease the Charlotte win, right? Because that's at this point what everybody thinks. Like Alexa Bliss cut the best promo, I can't remember, 3-4 years ago. At this point, we get it, Charlotte. You're the best. You always win. You're always the champion. Are you not as sick?
How to help you with that?
Alexa, stop. Are you not as sick
Let me in
of hearing this as the rest of us? Like, Little Miss Bliss cut that promo, and I said it that way because I can't say the A word.
Asshole?
Yeah, that one.
Abstract.
Yeah, abstract.
Archipelago.
Amsterdam. So you can't. It was just so predictable, and like the second, and one of my favorite tweets that I saw immediately after this was, "Oh man, you're telling me the only one that was in there that got fucking pyro is the one that won? Holy shit!" Because yeah, if you think about it, she got pyro. Charlotte got pyro coming in.
She deserved pyro. She's been gone for a couple of years, bud. Like, this was the big, long anticipated return.
But we knew she was coming. It wasn't even a surprise.
But she deserved her spotlight though too, bud. Like, come on now. You can't listen, you
flowers.
can't do that thing. You can't do that thing. Listen, you have been riding the Charlotte Flair Pony Express.
I love Charlotte. I really do, but this was too on the nose. Like, it's too on the nose. Why? And I think a lot of it. I think a lot of my problem too is what I was talking about earlier. Is that like titles can only change hands at WrestleMania now, and it's like it's too on the. There's too many things that happen on the fucking nose. We needed some swerves, and we're not getting swerves, and nothing feels dangerous. And like this shit all feels predictable, and it's like you get a teensy tiny toonsy swerve here and there, but it's like it's not even like that weird of a swerve, and it's like kind of one of those things where it's just like it's becoming too predictable, and if you don't make something unpredictable happen soon, this shit's about to drop like a stone. And because like WWE is really hot right now, hotter than it's been in a long time, but they're like dangerously close to being corporate shills of themselves and just shilling themselves into a million views a week or whatever, because it's becoming a little too much at this point. And the Charlotte win was sort of like what it's almost too it's too much. It was too on the nose. Charlotte's coming back to win the Royal Rumble, everybody.
Yeah.
Charlotte's going to do it. She's going to come back and win the Royal Rumble, and then Charlotte comes back and easily wins the Royal Rumble with no real danger of her losing the Royal Rumble. And she won the Royal Rumble, everybody. And Charlotte Flair is back and won the Royal Rumble, and because she got pyro coming into the Royal Rumble, and Charlotte is the Royal Rumble winner, and she pointed at the sign and got pyro again. And okay, I love Charlotte. I really do. This is too much. Like, she better come back and be like, I told you all, I'm better than all of you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, if she's not the first one that gets to be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck. If she didn't do that tonight, if she's not doing that right now on Raw, bad.
Well, it just didn't work for her, brother.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Show me your true colors. Come out here. Tell me you're better than everybody else.
Well, they keep saying that we're going to get a darker, more mysterious character when it comes to Charlotte Flair.
I mean, I don't think there's any mystery, but also like it better be dark, and it better be like, I'm better than you. I don't care about you. You are dirt. I am the queen. Like that. That better be the portrayal of Charlotte Flair. It better be so fucking egregious that like that's where it has to be. She's
definitely going after Tiffany Stratton, right?
Absolutely.
Like, gonna bury Tiffany Stratton.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Tiffy. Although, what happens if she buries Tiffy for 4 months and then Tiffy wins at WrestleMania? I think that would be the only reason this makes sense, is if that happens specifically. That's the only way this makes sense.
Well, I mean, they have been trying to get Tiffy to be a baby face. You know, she's been the little sympathetic little baby face with a mean streak.
And if Charlotte has so much heat, and maybe that's what it is. They're trying to give Charlotte so much goddamn heat that when Tiffy beats her, we are like, oh, thank God.
Well, I mean, you might be onto something, because that's fucking sure as shit one way to do it.
I mean, that's the only way this makes sense. I've thought I've put more manpower hours of thought into this than I have like a lot of things that probably required more of my attention. So let's be fair here. Like I'm fucking up thinking about this. But like that's the only way this makes sense is if like Charlotte gets nuclear heat by just being, I'm so much better than everybody else. None of you are on my level, like Roman did, but like, you know, Roman had his ups and downs
in the way that only a Flair can.
in a way that only a Flair can.
Ooh, maybe listen, if it's that, I'm into it. I'm into it.
That's the only way this works.
Because
If it doesn't,
time.
yeah, because it is Tiffy time, and then Tiffy has to win at WrestleMania, which makes sense, right? Because Tiffy is technically a newer world champion on the women's side, so like that makes sense.
I mean, she beats. Listen, you said it yourself. Like Charlotte is the fucking goat, right? Like,
Charlotte's the final boss.
Wow, I don't know. Becky's up there too.
Becky's the final boss too. Yeah, okay. Charlotte and Becky.
So,
but like maybe you save Becky.
What a statement win at WrestleMania that is for Tiffany Stratton's career.
Especially if it's kind of dominant and clean.
It won't be dominant. It'll be come from behind for sure.
See, that I don't like as much. I want it to be kind of like Tiffy gets a lot of shit. Like I want it to be 50-50 and like Tiffy like looks strong in the end. And maybe like give Charlotte a little bit of color.
I think it starts that way, but I mean we're talking about fucking goddamn Charlotte fucking Flair, bub. Okay.
But like okay, so imagine if like okay, so let's say Tiffy's come so whatever happens in the middle starts 50-50, whatever happens in the middle. But let's say Tiffy gets a like Hulk up and like let's say she gives Charlotte, let's say Charlotte gets color.
No.
Has Charlotte ever had color?
No, because the women in WWE don't bleed.
That's not entirely true.
So
not on purpose.
Okay.
Not entirely true.
Okay.
I'm just saying what happens.
Okay. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't address this. Okay. So it's a problem if the AEW women get color, but if the WWE women do it, we're good, right?
Look, I'm not saying that they need to be soaked and like crimson masked or anything like that. I'm saying an errant elbow flies and you know somebody.
So we got a nosebleed.
There's a nosebleed, a busted lip, something little. I'm talking pooty poo. I'm not talking fucking Ric Flair. Like,
you know what, Bubs? All I'm gonna say is that this sounds like the biggest fucking MapQuest detour I've ever seen and or heard in my entire life.
Look, at this point, like, does it not call for it? Like,
yeah,
on the Charlotte character, like, does it not?
I don't know that you use it with Tiffany fucking Stratton. I think if you want to have a fucking blood feud with fucking Becky.
Not a blood feud. I'm not talking about a blood. I'm talking about like she just caught her, you know. And
yeah.
It was rehearsed a little bit, so it was just it's a nosebleed. It's a maybe a busted lip. It's nothing egregious. It's like right. It's Charlotte like wiping her mouth and going,
traffic ahead. Please turn left.
Like just
traffic ahead. Please turn left.
Like a nobody makes me bleed my own blood kind of shit. Like a Dwight.
Okay. Did you just no?
Yes, I dodgeballed you.
No.
I dodgeballed it.
Unbelievable.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Okay, listen, we've got a whole men's Royal Rumble match that we need to talk about.
We do.
But I have a small dilemma. Okay. I'm out of beer, so I'm gonna need to go get one of those.
Okay, I kind of do too.
So Yeah, we're gonna take a 30-second time out here, and we're gonna go on a beer run because it's just one of them nights.
And go. Just follow the pointers.
Oh yeah, so easy, Thomas. I also don't know the difference between right trigger and right bumper, which is a bit annoying.
The bumper is the clicky one. Hammer of the gods, drive our ships to new lands, fight the horde, sing and cry, Valhalla, I'm coming. Yes, Yingling Traditional Lager. This segment brought to you by by Pennsylvania, by America's oldest brewery. This has been in my fridge for at least 2 months. The only one. I do enjoy myself a good Yingling, and here is a good Yingling. Wait for Walter to come back. It's supposed to only be 30 seconds. I feel like that commercial was 30 seconds. Good Lord. Yingling needs to sponsor us. How great would that be? That'd be amazing. What an amazing sponsorship Yingling would be. Oh, I see shadows. I'm seeing shadows. Me and Andrade seeing shadows. It's terrible. Horrible. Drive our ships to new lands. Oh, there we go. We got a wardrobe change as well.
I'm sorry, the dog's dumb.
Wardrobe change as well. That was what I was. So I
Oh no, I just took my quarter zip off.
I found it. The one Yingling in my refrigerator. I assumed it was. Where did you find that?
Pat bought it for us.
Is it gone? Looks
No,
gone.
I have 6 for you.
Oh.
And I saved the box so that you could have the whole experience.
Okay. Wow. That's so. How is it?
It's actually not bad.
Okay, that's good. I appreciate that it's not bad. Like, you don't have to don't give me details on it. But I appreciate that it's not bad.
So
It's light. It's a light beer, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah, friend of the show, Pat Martin, and I. He bought himself one. He's like, I drank a whole fucking 12-pack. I'm like, good Lord. I said, I can only have 6 of these, and I got to save 2 of them, so that we can do it on air together. We can have it. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's been to Ohio or somewhere that we haven't been.
Oh no way! Look.
He did jump. How did say his name and he appears? I believe in Pat
Martin. Oh, that's hilarious. Friend of the show, Pat Martin. I was just showing Tom what you. That you brought for us. But anyways, Pat and I were texting back and forth.
I am not enough of a shill to not drink Hulk Hogan's beer, even though I hate the man.
But anyways, it's not bad, right? It's like, so Pat and I were talking about it. He said it reminds him of PBR.
I don't mind PBR.
No, I don't either. I mean, I'm currently drinking Hams,
which is also kind of like PBR.
Yeah. So
it's all sort of the same category of, yeah.
And then friend of the show, Pat Martin, said that he doesn't think that he spent more than $10 on that 12-pack.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, that's good.
So
Real American beer is $10 a 12-pack. Okay, I like it. Great.
And I mean, it's very crushable.
Look, so it's $10 a 12-pack, and it doesn't taste like absolute piss.
That's Ham's territory.
Yeah, if it doesn't taste like absolute piss, and it's crushable, fuck it, that's fine. Put it in my places. That's the problem with beer today, is that it costs a lot of money, and if you don't, if you pay $9 for a 12-pack, it's somebody may as well piss in your mouth instead. It's just terrible. Shit, you could pay more than that for Bud Light, and it tastes like piss also, as does Miller Lite. It's just terrible. So, okay, I'm excited. I'm now excited, and I will happily try it. And I will happily say, hey, this is not the worst beer I've ever had for $10 for 12 at 79 cents a beer, because I just did the math in my head. So if it's great,
it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
I'll go with that.
I would get those in your. I want to get those in your hands this week.
Okay, I'll come visit.
And then save yourself 2 so we can drink them together on the next show.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I saved myself was 2 so we could have them together on a show.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's actually
thank you, Pat. I owe Pat like
fairly solid.
I owe Pat like a couple nice bottles of whiskey or something. I don't know.
Save your money. Just buy him some Evan Williams peach. That.
Okay. I'll get him the big one.
Buy him like a 3-gallon fucking bucket of Evan Williams peach.
Where do I get that in a 3-gallon bucket? Because I will.
I mean,
I'm not above that at all. But
you can get a gallon at Fine Wine and Good Spirits for like $13.50.
Oh, I'll just buy 3. Great. Okay. I can do math. I can do basic kitchen drink math. I got you.
Kitchen math, huh?
Like we're talking about gallons and pints.
How many teaspoons are in a tablespoon, huh?
4?
No.
2?
No.
I have no idea.
Split the difference, bub.
3?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
No, you're stupid. How about that?
Stupid amount.
Fucking
stupid. Just what a stupid measurement system that is. Fucking 3. Are we serious? God damn it. Fucking 3. Fuck out of here with that.
Shit. Well, 2's not enough and 4 was too many.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Just saying.
That's fine.
Just saying. All right, so we're moving on to the Royal Rumble.
The men's rumble.
The men's rumble.
For
yes.
men.
So if you're just getting here, man, how we do it is we just roll 1 through 5. We kind of talk about some things. We'll keep on keeping on. So to start us off, we had Rey Mysterio versus and Penta at 1 and 2, which was an interesting start to the Rumble Day Royale.
Timeout.
We didn't get very far, did we?
Timeout. Penta was the first man eliminated. Both of his feet touched the ground. And holy shit, did Pat McAfee call that out live on the air, and then immediately gets, Triple H in his ear went, Pat, shut the fuck up.
And then Michael Cole comes in. Oh no, just look really, really close.
Tried so hard. He was saving Penta's feet touched the ground. Look, this was classic Penta botch. This is Penta botch at its finest, because it's like, I don't quite understand how these ropes work by about 5 inches, but I work in centimeters. So fuck.
I mean, it's definitely the cable difference compared to the real ropes has definitely been Penta's downfall in his WWE career to this
Every
point.
time you've seen Penta just fall down, it's because the ropes were not quite as tight as the cables were, and he went on muscle memory, and he went fuck at the ground, and that's happened at least twice, if not 3 times.
I think it's happened every time he's been in the ring, if I'm being honest with you.
Yes. So this is probably time number 3. So the second time it happened, it wasn't as egregious. I think I caught it a little bit, but I let it go. I was like, maybe it was just a little slippy. It's fine. It was fine. Time number 2, it was just a little bit. This was just as bad as the first time, where he fell down after that leg drop.
This was way worse than the first time, bro. This is the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah, okay. Yes, if you're
There's fucking 16 cameras pointed at your feet, and we just had to lie.
we just had to be like, oh no, he just missed
No,
it. It was
no,
just
no,
short.
dude.
Even though he
No.
went full.
What are you talking? His boots are gray. That's not the floor.
His feet touched the like flat. He was flat footed on the ground.
No, he wasn't. You're crazy.
Like his
He was
feet,
levitating. There
his
was
feet
space underneath of him.
his feet were flat.
No, they
footed
weren't. No,
his knees bent.
Like fucking Chris Angel out there.
Like, okay, well, Penta is not Chris Angel, nor is he Jesus Christ. And
Okay, well, maybe he's a little bit broken and he can teleport.
okay, all right, fine. But okay, so Penta was the first eliminated, although we didn't count it.
Miedo.
Doesn't matter if you have zero fear when you're first eliminated in the Royal Rumble. Anyway, so moving on. Who are our next three combatants?
So then we had Chad Gable, which was fun because, you know, he's going on and on about this whole luchador thing, and then, like, you know, the dark arts of luchador, you know, lucha libre and blah blah blah, and then you get Carmelo Hayes, and then you get another luchador, Santos Escobar, comes out. You know, good start to the Rumble. Carmelo Hayes.
I like when all three luchadors beat the shit out of Chad Gable too.
Yeah.
It was like 3-on-1 for a minute, and Carmelo was just like, I'm just gonna stay out of this for a minute.
Man, I feel like they cemented Carmelo Hayes just like in that mid card with being the first eliminated after fucking 7 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
a good showing for a guy who likes to lose to other top guys.
So then let's go 6 through 10. We had Otis, Braun Breaker, I Show Speed, Sheamus, and Jimmy Uso.
So I've seen like 9 different camera angles of I Show Speed getting.
How's that? How did he get up?
It hurt today. I'll tell you that much. He's still, because his head went like Braun did not like. Braun laid that shit in so hard. Oh my God. Every angle I saw, it got better, but it also got worse for him. Like, oh my, like,
oof. Oof.
Good on him though for taking.
Oh yeah.
Did he know? Did he
that
know
whole
he was about to fucking die?
That whole little segment with him was fun. I mean, you kind of knew that they set it up that way on, you know, Friday. It might have been Monday on Raw.
Poor Akira Tozawa though.
Oh, what a heartbreaking little Twix he sent out.
What I didn't see that.
Oh, I've been in WWE 8 years, and this is the closest I've ever been to the Royal Rumble. Maybe next year I'll actually get to take a step towards the ring.
I mean, he took like 5 steps towards the ring this year.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, he got jumped in the entrance ramp, like it's the thing.
Bro is like 4'11".
So fucking literal, bro.
Bro is like 4'11" and 135 pounds. Like what exactly? He gets to hang out and be on TV with Otis every week.
Yeah,
that's as far as he gets.
If you were on TV hanging out with Otis every week, you'd want to be in the fucking Royal Rumble too.
I mean, I would be fine with being as far into the world.
Allegedly.
Rumble as you got. Buddy, I'm not going to get that far, okay? Let me point it out this way. Like, I'm never going to be as close as Akira Tozawa was to entering the Royal. I will never be that close to entering the Royal Rumble. It'll never be that close.
No, you sure won't. Not with a negative attitude like that.
No, because like what it would take for me to go through training, it would kill me. No chance. So I'm happy that he got his flowers to like come out on television and then get like punched in the mouth by like Carmelo Hayes, but who was just eliminated. But whatever.
I mean, it led to a viral clip, which is probably really what they wanted, right?
Absolutely. Look, if I'm Akira Tozawa, I'm glad I didn't have to take that bump. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you're Akira Tozawa, do you want to die? Is that like, look, I would love to die in a car crash, except for it to be a car crash. I want this man to hit me so hard that my organs explode. No. I'm not sure I Show Speed is still alive today.
That was graphic. Yeah, has anybody checked on him?
Not me. Yet. Look, I've seen, like I said, I've seen this like 9 different angles now.
Can we get a wellness check on I Show Speed, please?
Every one of those angles looks like he died because his head went. It was bad. It looked real bad.
I mean,
like, if this man is not like in one of those like Vince McMahon like steroid trial neck braces right now, I don't know what we're doing right now.
Well, I mean, I bet you he is, because we're loving the social media kayfabe days. Like, this kayfabe shit's gonna get wild with social media.
I mean, I hope the next time we see him, he's like eating through a straw, like with a neck brace.
like Roderick Strong?
Yes, exactly. Adam!
Sheamus looked good in the Rumble. Always happy to see him. 15 and a half minutes, laid his shit in. Then we go 11, Andrade, number 12, Jacob Fatu, Ludwig Kaiser at 13, The Miz, and say his name. He appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I had a Joe Hendry shirt on, actually, while we were watching. I had my Joe Hendry shirt on while we were watching the Rumble. Stood up, was singing it, clapped with it was great.
No, sir.
No, I think he's
that, Martin. Do you think I Show Speed has ever taken a bump before? Because it certainly didn't look like it. No. He'd die.
No, I think he's legitimately going to feel that for the rest of his life. I think, like that's going to be one of those like, oh, I got whiplash in a car accident when I was 25 years old, and like this shoulder still doesn't lift correctly or so like that. He's going to have that sort of like, my pinky gets numb sometimes. Like that's where he's going to be.
Jesus.
Well, I'm just telling you.
That was very, very direct. I mean,
his pinky is going to get numb sometimes. Directly.
So, good showing for Joe Hendry. He was there for a whopping 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah, well,
he called out John Cena and Roman Reigns after the Royal Rumble. I didn't read the tweet or the comment really, but I just saw that he had mentioned that he had John Cena and Roman Reigns' name in his mouth.
I mean, he did way.
Is that really what we're doing? Like with this partnership, we're going after Roman Reigns and John Cena. Is it really how we're going to start this partnership?
He did way worse than Jordan Grace did last year. So I was glad to see him, though. Don't get me wrong.
No, I popped.
And
I'm sure the Lariat Bar in Seattle or Washington, not a sponsor, sure I'm sure everybody in there popped.
We did. They did. We all did. It was great. Happy to see him. Nobody expected him to do any better than he did, and that was fine.
Moving on at number 16, and we talked about this early in the show, Roman Reigns comes out, and like for whatever reason, like I talked about in the Women's Rumble at 10 when Bianca came out, you felt like the energy ramp up.
This is where everything got serious. You were like,
when Roman Reigns music hit at 16, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Jacob Fatu's in the ring right now. Yeah.
Jacob Fatu, by the way, at this moment in time is fucking killing people. Like it's not like Jacob is just like wrecking dudes at this moment. And everybody's like, oh fuck, is Jacob gonna win? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, he's a monster right now. And then right behind Roman Reigns, we get Drew McIntyre. And then we get your boy Finn Balor. And then at 19, we get Shinsuke Nakamura. And at number 20, we yeet all over the place. Right? But we got serious Jay Uso, walking down to the ring. Which
so can we talk about how far the ring was from the entrance?
Oh, yeah. Comically far.
because they're like Roman
This
took
seems to
forever.
be the trend of Triple H, like PLEs, like the entrance ramp is just comically long.
Like there's plenty of people who have to like take off because it's like, all right, we're not giving you time to walk. Run. And like they get out there, they do their little thing when they, their music hits or they do whatever. And then they have to be like, it's hilarious every time because it's like they fucking know how far away that is. And it's like 30 yards. So it's like, and go. Like it's funny to watch the people who like don't have to do that. Like it took Charlotte forever to walk to the ring. It took Roman forever to walk to the ring.
Roman's entrance was every bit of 8 minutes.
Absolutely. I'm just saying it, like everything slowed down for Roman Reigns, and then Roman walked the rest of the way. Like he was like, no, this doesn't like I'm a better
I'm the biggest.
bigger deal.
I'm the biggest star in the fucking company.
Yeah. I will walk slightly more briskly than I would have walked anyway. And yes, you're right. It took Roman, and after that, it felt like everything got a little condensed. If I'm being honest, it was sort of a more like, oh, they're in the ring, 30 seconds pass, and next, and 30 seconds, and next, and
Yeah, they had to
next.
catch up a little bit for sure because
Absolutely.
I feel like Roman was in the ring. He had he was in the middle of his little stare down with Jacob Fatu when the countdown hit. And he wasn't in the ring very, very, very long.
Yeah, but it was a solid 4 minutes from when he started to when that happened.
Yes. So, we got 21 through 25. We've got AJ Styles because they don't want none. Nope, they don't want none.
I'm so glad he got that music
I
back
was so pumped
because his other music was fucking garbage. Let's talk about the music for the men's rumble, particularly.
I was gonna get there.
How many times did you go, I don't know who the fuck this is?
I did it all night, both men's
15,
and
like
women.
I went like 15 plus times. I don't know who the fuck this is. And then like I had to see them like, oh right, it's them. And even like the guys whose music I kind of get, but like it was just sort of shifted around a little bit, like Shinsuke Nakamura. It was still like I don't know who the fuck this is. Oh, Shinsuke. Okay.
Do you know what today's WWE entrance music lacks? That the old school Attitude Era music that like you had that instant recognition.
Yes.
Do you know what it lacks?
A distinct in you what?
It lacks that pop worthy moment, like when the glass breaks. There's no question who's walking through the fucking curtain.
And I think that's even what like so that's a very Vince McMahon thing. And I think that's even do you remember like Aleister Black? Like the creak for the coffin, right? Like we all thought it was stupid at the time. But when you would hear you would have known who that was.
Okay. Okay. We've got
All right, Pat. Let's back it up a little bit.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. Okay, this is a little bit of a controversial take here. Okay, so friend of the show, Pat Martin, has weighed in and says that Shinsuke Nakamura sucks. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. So I can understand. I can understand why people feel this way, right? Because he's been very, very much booked stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And then he goes
and the current USA champion. And like, okay, go on. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just he's never been able to just consistently do what he does since he's been on the main roster. Go back, watch Black and Gold NXT.
They let him do it for like a week or two, and then they're like, all right, that's enough. It just ends up being something fucking stupid. And then they take a title off of him. They put it on him because they were like, this is fucking cool, yeah. And then they're just like, all right, that's enough. And then it's like over. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pat's not wrong. It's more the booking than anything else, but it's like it's funny. It's funny to say.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. All he does is spit black shit and look dumb as hell.
See, the spitting black shit is cool. He does look dumb as hell.
It's like an old. That's like the old time. Listen, if he didn't have all the weird face paint, like, and he just wore the kabuki mask to the, well, not even a.
It's a samurai mask. It's a
samurai
helmet.
death.
It's a whole ass helmet.
It's an Oni mask, is what it is.
Yeah.
And he just did that and didn't have the fucking.
Yeah.
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 I'm into it.
Like I was saying, it's like he kind of gets to do something cool,
Get him
and
in.
then all of a sudden they're like, "That's enough of that. Let's fucking move on from here." And it's like, but what? This was cool. Why does he suck now? And then it sucks. And now we're back to that. It was like, oh, this is cool. Now he sucks again. And now it's like, okay, well, now he sucks. Okay, he's gonna lose probably before WrestleMania. That's probably fine.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they've got to probably make a move to put the belt back on LA Knight going into WrestleMania.
Yeah. Or somebody else.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. There's no samurai in history that only weighed 95 pounds. That's rather judgmental of you there, big guy. Okay.
I think they weigh him in at 220 pounds.
Yeah.
No, he's like a 47-year-old. It's hard to like be sub 220 at 47
he's like
years
thick
old.
boy, bro.
It's hard to be like. Have you seen like what a 125-pound man looks like? Everybody's mad at LA Knight right now too.
Yeah, everybody is mad at LA
Mad
Knight.
at him.
Or Logan Paul.
Or Logan. I mean,
or Damian Priest or Triple H, depending on which news outlet you ask. But we'll get there. So then we get into AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, John Cena, CM Punk, and Seth freaking Rollins. So we've done nothing but elevate the level of talent that has come in since Roman Reigns hit at 16. Friend of the show, Pat Martin, says Tom Cruise looks more samurai than he does. Hey, that was a great movie. Don't disrespect that movie, okay? It was a fucking good movie.
I loved it. I mean, that was during the era of like, I could pay $6 and see a movie at 7 p.m. But like, whatever. It's okay. But like, so from this, what I loved so much about it was that we got a continuation of Saturday night's main event from last week when Braun Strowman shows up after being beaten seemingly to death or close to it by Jacob Fatu, comes out and eliminates Jacob Fatu, who fucking loses his shit and starts flipping table stuff and like throwing things and being pissed off. Loved it. Love it so much. Keep doing this. Monsters being mean to each other. Fucking Godzilla versus King Kong, like Godzilla versus Ghidorah. Yeah, fantastic, amazing shit. Like I want more of these like guys who are too big to be real guys, being too big to be real guys, beating each other until like it seems to me as though they've tried to murder each other, but they're just too hard to die. And it's just like, yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want. Like, just it can be, look, it can be fake and stupid as shit because it is right now, right? It's B movie, fake, stupid shit, Mothra versus Godzilla shit. But like, yes, fucking, let's just go there. Like, that's all this needs to be. It doesn't need to be any more than like campy nonsense. Like, these guys are too big. It doesn't make sense. Like, they should just be killers. Let's put the killers next to each other and let's have them kill each other, sort of.
Well, if that's your line of thinking, let's just go out there and find Almost.
I mean, he just can't move though. Like, he has to I would love to see Omos versus Obafemi. In fact, I'm kind of sad that Oba was not in the Rumble. I'm sad that Oba was not in the Rumble, honestly.
I'm not.
You
He's a fucking chooch.
you couldn't put him in the Rumble because you'd have to let him win. He's a chooch? Are you fucking kidding me? The man is a goddamn monster.
A fucking chooch.
Our NXT champion is a chooch. I can't even right now with you.
I can't even fucking Obafemi, baby. Like, it just doesn't. No, I don't want to oof. I want to boom. You know, I want to.
Well, he's on a show that sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm upset about it too because he's not been on TV in a while. Where the fuck is he? Is he dead?
No, he's going through a divorce.
They weren't even married.
Yeah, whatever. It's all the same. Just more paperwork and just more paperwork when you're married.
Shit makes me so mad.
Yeah, so back to the Royal Rumble. Then we got 26 through 30. Dirty Dom coming in at 26. What?
Dom looked great. What a good job.
Man. Dom's great.
Dom is fantastic.
Dom's great. I wish Derek was here to hear us say that.
Dom is going to be better than his father.
Yeah.
He's bulking up a little bit too.
I mean, he's been getting booed real hard for like going on 2 years now.
And the heat is still there. Like, they don't put it over as hard as they used to on TV, but like, he shows up and people are like, fuck you. Punch him in the mouth. Like,
I saw a picture on Facebook today. It was like, I don't know, it was like a wrestling fan group, and it was like, oh, ran into these three today, and it was like these stealth pictures of Shayna Baszler talking to some dude, and then Rey Mysterio and Dom Mysterio standing in line trying to board the plane.
mm-hmm.
Rey didn't have a mask on.
Do you have a hat at least?
No. Just bald head.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure it's easier to travel without the mask. It probably draws far less attention.
I mean, obviously. Or like, put a hat on though. But like, yeah, no. Obviously, like, don't wear. Nobody's seen Rey Mysterio's face on television in 25 years.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what like 47-year-old Rey Mysterio looks like.
There's pictures out there. He looks good.
I'm sure. Look, I'm sure he does. But like, babyface 25-year-old Rey Mysterio does not look like bald-headed. Like hair makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. Look at my luscious locks.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are black. Look, as God's favorite children, we have wonderful hair into our 40s. You know, so we're part of God's favorite children.
You know who wishes they had great hair? A friend of the show, Pat Martin, wishes he had great hair. You know,
figure you're gonna say.
But hey, man, it's a 3-step process. You know, first you just got to get it real wet, and then you just got to really work it in there, right? Am I getting this right, Pat?
Look, well, I don't know how many times you have to tell me, but we don't need to hear about what happens in your personal life.
Okay.
About getting real wet.
No. You can't take my gimmick, okay, and try to flip it back on me. It just doesn't work that way. Nice try. Okay. But, you know, you're the one that continues to talk about BJ's and, you know, Dickies.
I'm sorry that, like, the place that has the best toilet paper also has the dirtiest name. I can't help it.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So we've got Dirty Dom Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, L.A. Knight, and then
Yeah.
number 30, Logan Paul.
Boo.
Bro, another like audible groan moment, right? Like when 30 hit and his music hit, I was just like, Jesus. And like that means he's doing his job.
Everybody, the whole arena went, like everybody got a little sick. They probably spit. You know that like you know before you throw up, you like kind of spit a little bit.
I love that he's got a bunch of heat in arena now too, because like he can't even hold a microphone up without somebody booing him.
He's on, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if it's like X-Pac go away heat. It's definitely go away heat, but like also like, man, we really want to see somebody we like punch him in the mouth real hard and like lay that shit in. I don't know. I don't know that it's going to pay off, and I feel like that's kind of the problem, right? And it's like maybe like because even his U.S. title loss was sort of lackluster, and
I mean, he defended the belt 3 times in fucking almost a full calendar year. Like,
yeah. So,
but that he wasn't the champion to defend the belt. He was the champion to carry the belt everywhere that he went and put mainstream eyes on the product and to put mainstream coverage into what he's doing and that name recognition with the WWE. That's why he was the United States champion. That was a giant PR campaign.
yeah, but now he has legit heat in the building. So like somebody really needs to like put him down hard. You know what I mean? And it's like they need to do it to him like they did to iShow Speed on Saturday, right? Like somebody needs to like Braun Breaker needs to hit him at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, but Braun Breaker's below his star level.
Exactly, and that's the problem. But I'm just saying that like that's what needs like Roman Reigns needs to show up and like or like fucking Jacob Fatu needs to show up and just like tear his head off and punt it into the third row or something like that.
I imagine we're going to see him in the Elimination Chamber. I'm willing to bet that the Elimination Chamber is a pretty star-studded event this year because confirmed John Cena. Like Hunter said in the post-show press conference that John Cena is who he is. He doesn't need to ask my permission. If he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber, he's in the Elimination Chamber. He doesn't need to qualify. He doesn't need to do nothing. If he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber, John Cena can be in the fucking Elimination Chamber.
So that to me means that we get to let Jacob Fatu tear Logan Paul apart for like a solid 3 minutes.
I mean, it might be more than that. Like, listen, I'm telling you, this Elimination Chamber event is going to be big. Roman's going to be in the Elimination Chamber.
I love the chamber. Like you don't
Rollins is going to be in the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. John Cena's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. And who's number 6? Is it Damian Priest? Huh? Is it Dominic Mysterio? Is it AJ Styles? Like who's going to be number 6?
It probably should be Sami Zayn.
But he's going to lose a qualifying match to CM Punk tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or probably already has.
I mean, it is 10:30. Raw's over. Raw is a 2.5-hour show, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a show that goes on night after night after night.
Yeah. So the Elimination Chamber is going to be a big fucking deal this year too, because you've got, and maybe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, but I don't think so. I think we're going to be able to circle back and close it out pretty strong. Drew McIntyre, does he fit that bill to be number 6?
I think Drew is involved in something else. then, but maybe.
Well, I think him and Damian Priest are getting ready to start an angle based on all of the nonsense
Yeah.
that we've heard, that he was pissed off because somebody had to get their shit in. And then I've heard 4 different fucking reports. It was Logan Paul. It was LA Knight. It was fucking that he was mad because he's getting ready to be programmed with Damian Priest going into
Mania. That's
into
nothing
Mania.
match.
Like, so all of this shit comes out. And then, and here's where I talk about kayfabe and social media. Drew McIntyre hops on Instagram, and he's been a great social media follow. Like, he's been engaged with the fans, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he says, he hops on, he was like, hey, listen, here's the deal. Like, if it didn't come out of my mouth, it didn't happen. Like, and so now he just takes a jab at the dirt sheets. So is this where we're at now? We in social media warfare a little bit?
I mean, I think we're
here for
it. We're here so that like the dirt sheets have no idea, and I think like that's maybe the biggest thing that Vince let lapse is that like there would be like, oh, backstage heat between yada yada. Somebody's not going to re-sign yada, but it would come out true, and it would be like, oh fuck, and it was like that was some shit like Vince let lapse, right? And you still get a little bit of that, like we got the Jordan Grace definitely signed with WWE, Malachi Black is gone from AEW, although we did not see him in the Rumble.
But a little disappointed that we didn't get a couple more surprises in the men's Rumble. I understand
disappointed, but also like you can't feed the dirt sheets like that, like
understand,
like
disappointed.
So it's like, if we have to wait to see them at like a random Raw, like 2 weeks after WrestleMania or 2 weeks before WrestleMania or whatever.
Nobody from NXT, from the NXT active roster, was in the Royal Rumble.
That's true. Not the men's Rumble.
Not the men's Rumble, right. And then we had a celebrity, a TNA, and that was it.
Yeah. So it was clean. We should talk about the winner though, and how it all ended up.
So obviously, come the end, right? We get down to John Cena, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Logan Paul. Those are the final 6. Okay. All hell ensues to break out with these 6 guys in the ring. Some botches, perhaps.
Maybe it just looked like they were all just laying it in. Really, from my perspective, it just looked like everybody was trying to throw haymakers, and it was like, if you get a potato, like, guys, it's like this has to look great. Just suck it up, kind of a thing.
So Logan Paul, so Roman Reigns. Oh fuck! Roman Reigns gets eliminated by CM Punk, right?
Yep.
Right after that, Seth Rollins gets eliminated by CM Punk, right? Or it happened together.
And it happened similarly within a couple seconds, and they stuck around.
So they're arguing outside, and then Logan Paul comes over and fucking dumps CM Punk. And allegedly, it's being
crowd loses their shit.
Yes, the crowd definitely loses their shit. And it's allegedly being reported that CM Punk was mad at how Logan Paul sent him over the top rope. But haven't heard much more about that. It did look a little mistimed, perhaps.
Maybe too much air, a little too hard of a push, a little too much adrenaline for a guy who hasn't been in the ring for a little bit.
And I mean, Pepsi Phil's getting up there, and I thought it was really funny. I never knew that Danhausen called him Pepsi Phil.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He referred to him as that, like, on air.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Love Danhausen still to this day.
What a great interview with Chris Van Vliet this past week too.
I was gonna say yes because he did it out of character without the paint or anything.
Listen. There's not very many of them out there. There's maybe 5, and 2 of them have been with Chris Van Vliet, and they've both been fucking stellar. That's a complex fucking dude.
It's great because he even he even drops the voice, and he's just Donovan.
Yeah,
That's his name, Donovan. He's just there to be Donovan. Just hangs out. Talks.
Yeah, but you can definitely still hear like the Danhausen scratchiness, like the
I mean, his voice. He's not that good of a voice actor. It's not that far. When I do a voice, it's like, oh, that's still Tom. It's still me. But it's yes.
Well, no, not everybody has the voice prowess that I possess.
No, that's true.
You know,
you could play Odin, and I would believe it. You'd be a great Odin, actually.
Kind of look like Odin.
A little bit. You got the beard.
My little bun.
Yeah.
Remember for WrestleMania, I had the braid for Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Like we can't all have a booming God voice, but it's good.
I only use it for good, never evil. Or do
regardless of what he would tell you, that actually is true. Moving on. So
then we get down somehow or another. Fucking Logan Paul gets eliminated. Thank God.
I was relieved.
Yeah, because that
shit was shaky, and I was relieved.
I was worried there for a second.
Yeah,
he came out at 30, and then he was in the final 3. I was like, they're not gonna do this, are they?
So let's talk about Seth Rollins being fucking vicious to Roman Reigns as well, and stomping his ass on top of the steps outside after they were both eliminated. That shit's going to WrestleMania too, but without a title and just out of pure hatred. And those guys sold all of that perfectly, by the way. Anyway.
So funny story to piggyback off that. A couple weeks ago, I'm just sitting here randomly, just watching TV in the man cave. One of the listeners of the show sends me a text message, and he goes, "Hey man, we're getting Seth and Roman at Mania, aren't we?" And I said, "I mean, I don't. Maybe." He's like, "No, it's happening." I think my man's right. I think we're going to get Seth and Roman at fucking WrestleMania, and it's going to be epic.
I hope the build is vicious. And truthfully, between the two guys, I think they deserve that. And I think that, without a title, and it's been long. It's been, 2.5-ish years now since they've collided. So.
Yeah, but that's all but an afterthought at this time.
Yeah. And so, I think that now it's got to be a thing where it's fuck you, no, fuck you, kind of a thing.
No, fuck you. That's rude.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to deserve that. What the fuck?
Thank you. Come on, them, the two of them. Come on.
Jesus. Wow.
Anyway, we can talk about the winner.
Yeah. So. So we get down to John Cena and Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, and it's like, oh, Cena's gonna do it. Then they go down on the apron and they have their little thingy thing, and then Jey Uso slides back in the ring, and John Cena's like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jey Uso just starts yeeting all over the place, just. Right? John Cena's out on the outside going, what a minute. Listen, John Cena's going to almost win the Elimination Chamber. Okay. But something's going to happen in the bottom of the ninth. 2 outs. Bases loaded. He's going to give up a Grand Slam home run. Okay. To lose the game in the Elimination Chamber. I bet you he wins Money in the Bank. That's how he gets his number 17.
Hopefully beats Edge.
On this day, I see clearly everything sucks in AW. And my name is fucking Cope. And I sound like a dope. That was a good one.
I hope he beats Edge.
That was a good one. He's not going to beat Edge.
He's not, but I wish he would.
Edge is retired.
Right. But I wish he would. Maybe they bring out like fake Edge, like they did fake Diesel.
Oh, bro, wouldn't that be the fucking just like biggest slap in the face to Adam Copeland's legacy?
You know what? Bring out James Ellsworth. Give him a chin.
Draw a sun tattoo on his arm and a sugar skull
in Sharpie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yes. Do that.
Then let him come out and you think you know him?
Just shit all over it because that's what he's done. In fact, it'd be funnier if James Ellsworth did it. At least it'd be funny. It wouldn't just be sad. Fucking sad. So fucking sad.
Got the title in a briefcase and we're on a new network, genius.
Dummy.
You fucking stupid baldy, huh?
You dummy.
Yeah,
with your poopy family.
Yeah, you big fat dummy face head, huh?
I hope he stubbed his toe on the way out of the arena that night. I really do. I hope he stubbed it real hard, and I hope it hurt. And I hope he told Beth about it.
Hey, entirely unrelated side note. Renee Paquette put on her Instagram thing the other day. I instantly just ordered a thigh chain, so I'm going to be looking for that. Random, I know. Nah, man, but I think John Cena's going to get 17.
I hope so. I would like that.
Yeah, me too. I always wanted Randy to do it.
I mean, Randy can do it too.
Yeah, but Randy's gonna have to go 18. Randy's gonna have to go 18 though. But I think if Cena beats it, that's it.
Yeah, probably for a while anyway.
No, that's it.
Now, see, I would like it if Randy tied him. I think that's fun too.
I'd be into that because I love Randy Orton.
Oh, me too. And I think Randy deserves to tie it at least.
I always wanted him to be the one.
As much as John deserves to win it, I think Randy deserves to tie it.
I have voices in my head, they tell me they understand. They hurt me.
So Jay wins. And the internet got mad.
I was getting there, bro. God bless.
I'm sorry.
Pee. Oh my God, dude. We're
all right. You go ahead and you talk about all that, and then I'll come back and we can elaborate.
I'm sorry, bud. I did not. My spatial awareness today is next to nothing. Yeah. So we get down to John Cena and they do the whole thing. Jey Uso wins and starts yeeting all over the place. He gets the big moment in the corner where he's yeeting. Right? Then he does the WrestleMania sign point and gets the pyro. Everybody feels great, right? Everybody feels great. Yeeted all over the place. I felt happy after the Royal Rumble. Then I logged into the interwebs, and the internet was mad. And I can't quite understand why the internet was mad. Because Jey Uso is clearly one of the most over superstars on the roster. And there's a lot of them. I mean, Dominic Mysterio's over. Okay. Street Profits are over. Alexa Bliss clearly over. Pop of the fucking night. Lots of fucking people are over. But Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso is over. Okay. I just don't understand why the internet's mad about this, Tom.
Because the internet is stupid. They were like, Jay deserves it. Jay deserves it. And then they were like, we swerved. And like Jay got it. And like the internet got mad about it. And it was like, that madder than Charlotte Flair won. Like, right? Like they were madder about Jey Uso than they were about Charlotte Flair.
It doesn't like why?
Nobody's been able to give me a straight answer. I hope somebody can. If in fact, people out there right now, people who have listened,
It's like this is like the closet CM Punk fans. It has to be.
Like, tell me
Whoa.
why you're mad that Jey Uso won. Because like I understand that like everybody was like fucking CM Punk's gonna win. But like, and I get it, and like that made sense and whatever, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Your turn to carry. I gotta pee.
But why the fuck are you not like happy about like Jay? Like Jay was like a dark horse candidate, and it was like, oh shit, like he lost against Gunther, and like now that's the end, and like no, we're not gonna see that. We're not gonna like it was doom and gloom. As somebody who's been a Finn Balor fan for this long, and it's like now Finn Balor's like clearly a loser. Like it's very obvious. Like we are Finn the loser Balor. At this point, like it's not like the demon or anything. He's the loser at this point. He's like Finn the job Balor. But now we've got like Jey Uso, and it's like Jay just lost to Gunther, but it's like it was kind of like it was real close. Man, he was that close, right? And then like he had him, but he didn't have him because there was ref bumps and like I don't know, man. Like to get Jay to beat like to build this to the top of the card at WrestleMania is sort of like unbelievable at this point, right? Because like we now you can predict what's going to happen. Now it becomes predictable, but you didn't see this coming, right? You didn't like this was your like, oh my god, like this was the big moment. This was the big swerve in this in this premium live event. This was the big swerve, and it was like, yeah, okay, Charlotte was a predictable winner, but now it's like, oh man, we get Jay. Like Jay gets to do it. And it's like, we've been behind this man. This man has been more over than anybody for like the last 2.5 years. Like this is coming, and he's going to get his WrestleMania moment. This is starting to feel like, Kofi Mania did at that point in time. And I know Kofi's a big time heel now. It's kind of unfortunate that Kofi and Xavier were not in the Rumble, didn't get eliminated. But like also like this is starting to feel with Jay like similar as to how we felt with like Kofi Mania, is that like no, the fans wanted this. This came through because the man got himself over, right? And it was he's main event Jey Uso. He is in your city, Us, and it's like it's just me, Us, day one-ish, and it's so good to see, and it's so like satisfying. And I feel like that's part of what pro wrestling is, right? It's a very satisfying. You get like sometimes you get a very satisfying but like not expected thing, and I feel like that's what we got. That's how I feel, is very satisfied, but it wasn't expected, and that's sort of where I sit right now.
No, I don't have a problem with the decision to let Jey Uso win the Rumble at all. I think satisfied is the right word.
Yeah, and it's like this is like if you're a week to week watcher, this is satisfying for you. If you're a casual fan, and again, this is sort of like what we were talking about earlier with like, it hurts the casual fan to only, have titles change at WrestleMania. But if you're a casual fan, you don't maybe get this, and maybe that's what it is. It's the casuals who are not into Jey Uso, winning the Royal Rumble. But for those of us who watch week in and week out and know that he's on TV every single week, he's out there cutting promos, and that he's in the main event, and that like the man is out there carrying the product. The product is only as big as it is.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think everything that you're saying is true. But I think that the IWC is looking at this very much as the Roman Reigns effect right now.
Well, I think with Roman Reigns still being out there, I feel like it's hard to call it that. And that's just my opinion. As a non-casual fan, we'll put it that way. As a non-casual fan, I felt like this was the right move. I didn't see it coming. It wasn't telegraphed to me as somebody who watches week in and week out. And when it happened, I was like, fuck yes, this makes sense. I love it. And that's how I left. And I feel like a lot of the people, I was in a bar packed with wrestling fans at this time, right? Like, I'm not like sitting in my own bubble with my girlfriend. I'm not sitting with you or with, our friends who are wrestling fans. Like, we're not like in this little bubble of people who all talk about this together in our own little group chats and what have you. Like, I was in a room full of strangers who I did not have weeks and weeks of conversations with about who should win, who shouldn't win, who's coming in, who I want to see, who I don't want to see. I was in a room of absolute strangers whose names I didn't know in a city I'd never been in before in my entire life. And I'll tell you right now, that entire bar was so excited, and we all yeeted together, and we were all friends that night. So I think it was the right call. Thanks, Pat. I think it was the right call, and I think that I was in sort of the proper environment to not only gauge my own self-interest, but to sort of engage the interest of like the common sort of hardcore somebody who's going to be like, oh shit, there's a wrestling themed bar called fucking Lariat within, distance that I can make it to on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, because it was 3 p.m. That was fucking crazy, by the way, being on the West Coast. And it's like, oh, the Royal Rumble starts at 3 p.m. Like, fucking, I just ate lunch. Okay, let's go. Like I just sat there and I was like I didn't have a drink. Like, it was a weird thing, and it was like, well, maybe we should get nachos and a beer. Like towards the end of the women's rumble. Yeah, it was like, well, let's get some nachos and a beer. Like, I guess it's time for that. It's weird. It's like 3:30. Like, okay. Like, you think of a like nighttime, like it was over before dinner time. Like, I went back to where
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, clearly came in late.
Yes, Pat, they did. That was confirmed earlier today, but Walt called it like when it happened. It was legally confirmed back in October.
You were incredibly too lovey-dovey on social media for it to just stop so abruptly.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just how it goes, right?
Charlotte clearly just had enough of her Latin lover.
He just didn't learn enough English fast enough, and she just talks so fast.
That's why he needs Zelina Vega.
God, I hope so.
He's on SmackDown now.
I hope, like, please, they've been painting this picture now for a year. It's been a year, right? Am I wrong? At least 10 months.
I just pooped my pants.
Sorry about your pants.
Oh. So I think coming out of the Royal Rumble, bud, we're left with more questions than answers.
Which is what we want. We want questions. Make me want to watch.
I love it.
Don't be like AEW and make me watch it Wednesday and go, what the fuck?
I think it's pretty clear Jey Uso and Gunther at WrestleMania. And then whoever wins Elimination Chamber will be against Cody.
Yeah.
Early predictions: Jey Uso versus Gunther. Who wins?
Jay. It's got to be Jay, right?
You think?
Yes. I don't think Jay can lose versus Gunther.
Interesting. I don't know that I expected that from you.
So, but hear me out.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, also wants to know when is Becky coming back, but we'll get to that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have clicked on that yet.
And as far as I think we get CM Punk versus Cody, and I think Cody wins. But I think CM Punk gets his WrestleMania main event. And I think that's the story of Elimination Chamber. But I think that Money in the Bank, John Cena wins. And I think that John Cena takes the belt off of Cody. And I think that makes sense until John Cena drops the belt back to Cody in December, I guess, or wherever. Maybe before. Maybe it's SummerSlam. Who fucking knows? But yeah, I think John Cena gets a nice quick. Somebody has to have a quick run at this point. Like Triple H needs to make this feel a little bit dangerous. And quite frankly, he's made it feel not so dangerous for a while. So we need to like reinsert some danger. And maybe that's how they do it. Because right now, if some titles don't start to change hands, things are going to start to get a little moldy. And I'm not sure that the end pieces of the bread aren't getting a little green already.
Interesting.
My 2 cents, but I think some pieces got to start moving. I think we've been stalemated a little too long. Now I'm in chess. I went from bread to chess. That's a jump. That's a big jump.
Well, there you have it. Tom thinks that we need some danger.
Let's get dangerous.
Product's never been hotter than it's ever been until fucking just recently.
Let's get dangerous.
But Tom is exactly right. I feel the exact same way. We're getting a little close to that line of, hey, this is fucking really good, or hey, this is the same shit we've been seeing for a fucking couple of months now.
Maybe I'd only need to watch maybe I only need to check in once every other month, kind of a thing. Like that's we're approaching that level, and that's not where you want you don't want the casual fan to check out until they're only checking in quarterly. Like that's not, and we're close. Like if something doesn't move between now and WrestleMania, that's where we're going to be. We're back to a quarterly effort.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin. Do you think they're going to use the powerbomb on Kevin Owens to make Cody like a bad guy now because that was awesome? I'm assuming you're talking about the package pile driver piece.
Well, no, so Cody kind of gave him like an Alabama slam onto that ladder. So Pat, I don't know if you're familiar with The Boys, the show on Amazon, or what is actually the comic The Boys. So there is a character in The Boys called Homelander. Homelander looks an awful lot like Cody Rhodes. Homelander is the pinnacle superhero in that universe of The Boys. Homelander is absolutely the bad guy of The Boys. In the comic, it's not as defined as it is in the show. Like he's the prime bad guy in the show. In the comic, it's a little more convoluted and not, quite frankly, not as good in my honest opinion. As somebody who's read all of The Boys and who has watched thus far all of the show with an episode with a season plus, their spin-off season of like the kids, the generation, whatever. One, I think that the show is better than the comic. As somebody who was a fan of the comic when it came out, this is similar as how I felt about The Walking Dead for a hard minute. But like it all, The Walking Dead is not a great example because it all ended badly. The comic and the show, I wasn't a fan of. But this to me seems sort of like Cody Rhodes's Homelander angle, whereas like he fucking Alabama slammed Kevin Owens into the ladder, and that bump looked gnarly. And like Walt and I had talked about earlier in the show, it looked like he had killed Kevin Owens, but like Cody got this like you're cheering. This is what makes you happy. Exactly. So is this the Cody Rhodes Homelander heel turn angle? I could only hope so. From a fan of the boys and a fan of how all of that sort of works in sort of like a smarter heel turn, like a more modern wrestling fan, if you will, a more advanced wrestling fan, while we have Yeet on the other side, which is clearly like, you know, the guy that's over versus the foreign heel, very 80s type of shit. Versus, you know, what is sort of a more modern kind of like deeply well written kind of thing. So I hope so. I hope so from everybody's perspective that Cody kind of becomes sort of like, go ahead and boo me. I've seen what makes you cheer. Kind of that kind of guy who's just disgusted with the fans, disgusted with his surroundings, and you know, just kind of sick of it. And sick of being like, I'm better than you, I'm better than everybody else, and why don't you love me, kind of a thing. You should love me because I'm better than you. I just am, kind of a thing. So I hope we see that out of Cody. I don't know that we will. I feel like, you know, I'm kind of like fantasy booking things based on like critically acclaimed like novels and television shows, but at the same time it would be a terrific angle, and I really hope that's where we end up. But if we don't, I get it, and I realize it's not the same, but you know, hopefully.
Yeah, what he said.
Walter has not watched The Boys.
No, not at all. Not at all. So I just let you go, bud. You know,
Ashley said I just ER'd you.
some days, man, you just gotta lay out. You know, you just gotta let the magic speak for itself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying that like, I know where a fantastic angle exists, and I've already watched it. And maybe that's the problem, and maybe that's why they won't. But still,
Well, bub, you know, I hate to say it, but it feels like there's only one piece of business left for us. Tom, what's your match of the week, and why was it the men's Royal Rumble?
I feel like I have to exclude the Rumbles because it was obviously like it's you're right. But I need to circle back and say that DIY versus the Motor City Bang Bang Gang, the Motor City Machine Guns, it was just that was honestly to me what made me like everything else made a lot of sense. I was disappointed going in, like, oh man, I've been having so much fun with this, and they're just about to end it cleanly and move on and build some other nonsense. And I'm about to not care again. I'm about to go back to not giving a shit about what's happening on the tag team division on SmackDown. And they were like, hey, guess what? Now you care more. Ha 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 ha. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, fuck yeah, I do.
Hell yeah, I'm here for it, man.
It was,
like I said,
it was the swerve I wanted in other things, but at least they gave me something.
It's like I said earlier, man. Like growing up as a tag team specialist, okay, previewed myself as a Jim the Anvil Neidhart type of the tag team, right? You know, right. I love when tag team wrestling is relevant. And I especially love when tag team wrestling is good and relevant. And right now it's both of those things,
Reach your fist.
especially on SmackDown.
Hey,
And
they hit the pyro right this week too.
yes, I did notice that.
Raise
I
your
did notice
fist. It hit. It went correctly. This
that.
time.
So for me, match of the week outside of the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble being the obvious choice, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the title match, the ladder match between Cody Rhodes, and Kevin Owens, because they beat the fuck out of each other.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
Kevin died.
I hope he's okay. Like in
you know,
real life.
Sami Zayn was involved, which I'm sure is gonna lead to some sort of story somehow, somewhere, some way. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Fantastic piece of business. Glad to see the Winged Eagle get so heavily featured for the last couple of months. And now it's probably going to go away, never to be seen again. But
Got
you
one
know
last
that
hurrah at least. You
was
thought it was
mine.
never going to be seen again. This
was-
time last year, I'd have been like, "Hey, do you think the Winged Eagle is going to be important for 2 months next year?" You'd have been like, "Absolutely not.
Yeah,
No
it's
chance of
awesome.
that."
It's awesome. That's like my childhood dream belt. I actually have it right there, and you never see it because you always see like these ones, but it's down there. It's right there, right?
It's beautiful too.
I love it. Love it. It's like the biggest piece of shit belt that I own. But I love it so much just because it's the Winged Eagle. And
It's
yeah.
got those weird like brace things coming off it still, because
Yeah.
the original one broke so many times.
It's a good piece of business over there. So yeah. Good Royal Rumble. Really enjoyed it. Tom, real quick, if you got to put a letter on it, what was it?
I'll give it an A. It's not an A plus, but it was an A.
I was thinking A.
Yeah.
I thought
Not
they
an
did.
A plus.
Nah,
I
women's
feel like
Rumble left a little bit to be
Yeah,
desired.
I feel like Charlotte's sort of like overly
Yeah.
telegraphed win keeps it from being an A plus. I feel like if you'd have teased the Charlotte win, but have put anybody, even Nia Jax, whomever, put anybody else over Charlotte would have been, we'd have got two big shocks. And I'm sure the internet would have been pissed about both of them, but I feel like it would have been overall a better show because we would have got two big shocks, but still would have made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd have liked to seen Roxanne Perez win that, if I'm being honest with you.
That would have been good too. I wouldn't hate that, and then be like, Rhea Ripley, I'm coming for you, and then like just have Rhea just like show her that like you're not quite ready.
Just dog walker.
Just exactly what happened, which is exactly what happened to Rhea a few years ago with Charlotte. Is that like she came out to be like, I'm here, I'm in charge now. I'm the winner, I'm the best. And then Charlotte was just like not quite. And it was just one of those things where it was just like took the wings out of the sails. Like that would have been I would have loved to see that happen to Roxanne too, because like she's pumped so hard and flying so high. And I feel like that it may have been a nice return to form.
One day.
Concerned.
One day. Hey, real quick before we go, friend of the show, Pat Martin says, "Hey, Walt, if you're Jim the Anvil Neidhart, I'm Rick Steiner. Who's better?"
I mean, Jim the Anvil is better, right? Because like Rick never made it as a solo guy, but Jim the Anvil kind of was intimidating and was good in other groups besides with Brett. If I'm being honest, now I think that Rick Steiner's career was cool with his brother as a tag team, but he was number 2 to Scott always. But that being said, man, Rick Steiner's an a hard man to look at. Am I wrong? Like, is Rick Steiner not like one of the ugliest men ever to be present on television?
That's why they call him the dog-faced gremlin.
I mean, the guy is he's a bad-looking human. But no, I loved Rick Steiner, but I loved that like Rick Steiner was like even uglier than the Bushwhackers. And it was still on television. Man, look up the dog-faced gremlin. I really get out and I really like get into it. And it was like, man, that is a bad-looking human. And I loved all of that. I appreciate for Braun Breaker that he is. You could tell that Rick is his father, but like he certainly takes after his mother. So good for him. It's not just a face a mother could love, thankfully for him.
All right. Well, with all that being said, I just got one more thing to say. Yeet. Hey, man, if you're still hanging out, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. You maybe even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. You can check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.